Issue number 3 is going to be all about questions. Why? Well, it's happened to me before that with the right keywords on your Google search, all of a sudden, I'm not the only one doing this. There are thousands of people doing the same thing much better than I. So what do I bring to the table? I guess the only thing is that I'm sort of brand new and I'm learning. Other than that, everyone has more knowledge than me. So I almost stopped, just done, completed. But for some reason, here I am, and this is all about questions. First, when I mean questions, by the way, I want the experts to answer, because I got my first comments from London, England. How about that? London, England, and it was like 5 different responses, and he was very detailed, and he was very informative. So here we go. A couple of corrections, like I said. Esad Ribic, E-S-A-D-R-I-B-I-C. Esad Ribic is the one that is the artist for the first story arc of Thor, God of Thunder, that everyone loves. Another reason why I wanted to show you this is because this is a hardcover. I talked a lot about TPBs, trade paperbacks, besides single issues, and looking at both of those, what are the pluses and minuses. Never really talked about the hardcovers. And I would like to ask you, which ones do you get in hardcovers? So this was really special to me, and this is the first 4 of the, I think it's 8 or 9 issue story arc. So I got it in hardcover just so I know I could go back to it and see the origins. Did the same thing with Nova. I just love that story. He's just a young guy getting into superpowers. So got that one in hardback. And then the other ones that I started getting back is Y the Last Man, which is by Brian K. Vaughan. And I lead with this because if anyone is going to read any comics, please read Brian K. Vaughan's Saga and Y the Last Man, and then Robert Kirkham's Invincible, which are these big hardcovers behind me. I started off with the trades, and then I decided to go hardcovers. Once you go to hardcovers, you know, you really can't go the other way. And what I wanted to say is Brian K. Vaughan's Y the Last Man is apocalyptic, just like Robert Kirkham's Walking Dead, and we all know Walking Dead, right? People that don't even read comics know about Walking Dead. And then the sort of fantastical Brian K. Vaughan is Saga, whereas the fantastical Robert Kirkham is Invincibles. Moving on. Another correction. Superior Spider-Man 4 is what I thought was in the issue number 1, where Spider-Man got all nasty and actually killed someone. Remember, Peter Parker's no longer in his brain. We got the villain that's trying to be good, but he actually kills. It's not. It's 5. And I have 2 issues of 4, 1 issue of 5. Oops. But then again, you're not supposed to be speculating on the value of comics. Boy, would I rather have 2 5s than 2 4s. That's a correction. Another hardcover that I got was D&D Cutter. I do have them in single issues, and the one thing I do not like about this is the size of it. It's sort of cool because it is the size of D&D books, and I've been a pen and paper D&D guy all my life until they started doing all these different versions. But so it doesn't really fit in the shelf like the rest of them. You know, I'm a completist. I care about those things. Call me any alphabet soup you want. But I wanted to show you a little bit about the Cutter because it's really, you watch it more than you read it, and I've been explaining things about that. And you know, just let me go to any random page here. You can see, like, even that doesn't have anything in terms of dialogue. 5 bubbles or whatever. So it's very picturesque. The pacing is different, and you sort of watch it more than read it. Another D&D thing, because I'm a fan, I got the TPB. I swear, here's my question to you. 1 through 5 is collected in this. When did this 1 through 5 come out? Because I swear I have already read it. It's okay. Would I read it again? Probably not. I just like it because it's D&D, so they have that one up, you know. Okay, let's start going into all of the stuff that I had to read, and there's a whole bunch, so it's going to be lightning fast. Number 1, Hawkeye. We all love Hawkeye, and we love the way that they do the artists when it comes to a different type of showing of the story. But this is Matt Fraction, and this one sucks. I hated it. It was Kitty, it was LA Woman. As opposed to Matt Fraction's Inhumanity, that's lovely. This was concise, and you needed to know all that information, but I'll get to this later. So, I don't like to give opinions, but that particular Hawkeye, I would skip. Iron Man's still mad at it from the damn, like, brother thing, Arno, and he's not the he's adopted son, and so they're starting a new arc. I'm moving on. Spider-Man team up. They go against Spider-Man. All that thing is whacked out in the back of their brains, and they're taking it to him. And then we go into the Superior Spider-Man Darkest Hours. It's all about Venom. He doesn't remember because he killed Peter Parker, and I'm not really a fan of Venom. That's what's happening there, and it feels like they're coming out every week. One pile done. Moving. Those were the single Marvel characters, by the way. All new X-Men 19. Action, action, action. I didn't really realize that. I don't even know who they're fighting. In fact, I think they even say, who are these guys? Sort of this religious anti-mutant people. How fun. This is, I think it's the first time. Here's my question to you. Is it the first time that Bobby, Iceman, uses Ice Hulk, which he figures out in Battle of Atom? Is it the first time that he uses it like he knows how to use it? Answer that on the comments. I want a lot of comments. This was my joke about Google chicken breast images and see what you get because of explicit content. I'm not understanding this. I don't have the background on it. It's weird art. Moving on. It's done. Question. Are you happy? I am happy. 18 issues. It's done. That's the best part about that one for me. Sorry. I just don't know the backstory of all those characters. This is supposed to be a very controversial one, very big one. This is Uncanny Avengers 14. My question to you is, when people die in comics, is it like a soap opera and they're going to come back? Because two very influential people are not doing so well in this one. That is my question about that. Nova. Is this a learn your place and that's why he's not on the Avengers comic? It says 100, but it's really 10 because there's been 100 of them. And I guess my other question is Nova, Marvel's Nova Corps, the analog to DC's Green Lantern Corps? Is that correct? How hot is... No, that's not the question. All right, so Comic Girl 19 and Amy Dolan said, follow a writer. I'm following Aaron, Jason Aaron. And, oh my God, this is if Bobby is the first time Hulk. I am so sorry. I'm doing one take, so I'm not editing this. This is the first time that Bobby is the Ice Hulk for the very first time. I was very lucky that when I looked at this and I saw the cover, and I have a sort of issue about what the covers are and what's inside, I was very glad that I went back to reread this. This is $3 more. It's almost like a double comic. It's worth it. The art is almost poster quality. That's Chung, I think is right. And remember, this is Jonathan Hickman, who writes for a lot of different companies. And this is that huge story arc that goes over 3 different titles with a lot of tie-ins. And just so you know, they always give you this back thing right here. That's a lot of comics just for one storyline, right? So I went back. There's a lot of big things that happen in this. I mean, Starbrand, as far as I'm concerned, is the most powerful. Takes out the entire fleet. Hulk almost dies, except then you have this sort of laughing out loud moment with Captain America. Please look at that. Then you have Thor, who's just about being pummeled, dead. Thor's gone. Immortal and immortal. Thanos is wrecking ball. They're going to be done. Here's the question. Do you agree, because of Black Bolt's decision, that our hero survived? Because now, Black Bolt's decision is being called into question. But, little do they know, they would not have survived if it wasn't because of Black Bolt's decision. Why is that? Little riddle for you. And quite honestly, it's the Maw. Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw, which is the Black Order, Cult Obsidian. He actually wins the day. He's the hero. Do you agree? I think so. Alright, so then you have the last one, which is the New Avengers issue 12. And this sort of says, hey, you know, we're not done yet. There's a lot of things that are a lot worse than what you just saw. You can pass on this. It's not really an Infinity tie-in. you know, god dang it. This one's not really an Infinity tie-in because all it takes is Tony Stark being away, but it's fun. And the cool thing that is an Infinity tie-in is that one of the main bad guys doing the heist is changed because he's an Inhuman. And because of that special power, he decides to do good. That's sort of cool. I don't know about Ronan the Accuser and the Shi'ar and all that stuff, and this is about his son. I could have definitely passed on this one. Maybe to the people that like Shi'ar and stuff, the son is really important. Just to me, it wasn't. Now, this one. I need to show you something. Did you... Sorry, I'm supposed to put everything to questions. Did you notice Disney bought Marvel, bought Lucasfilms, LucasArts, not ILM, I don't think. Do you see that? Hopefully that's coming through. If you don't, I don't even know what page it is. But in this Guardians of the Galaxy, there is a little Easter egg, I think is what they call it. Alright, so now that we have Infinity coming to a close, that then releases the Wild Terror Genesis global wide, which is now changing all of the sort of sleeper Inhumans cocoons, and they're going to their rightful, what do you call it? Evolution. This is by Matt Fraction, and again, as opposed to Hawkeye, LA Woman, this was lovely. It set the foundation, answered your questions, but I mean, it's explaining what the audience already knew, but to the characters, the Avengers, etc., and you get to see the reactions. So I think that's nice. When it comes to Black Bolt still being alive, that goes to the new Avengers. So in here, they ask, "Is Black Bolt still alive?" Doesn't this answer it? Am I right in that? Please respond. Please comment. And then we have our first Inhumanity tie-in, and I like the fact that you have these three spider-like girls on the front because I remember what it's about. It's fun. Is it really about Inhumanity? Not really, but I'm glad I got it and read it. Moving on to Independence. Remember, this is Deathmatch. This is the last one. It's the denouement, and come on, guys. This is what got me back into comics, and it was just paradox, that's why it is. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to read the TPBs again. I already have 2, and there's a third one coming out. I'll read it start to finish and see if it's all succinct. I'm afraid there's going to be some plot holes or something that I'm not going to like about the entire series. Again, like in D&D, went to Pathfinder. The funny thing about this is, do you not see more like D&D references in terms of attributes and like die rolls than D&D titles do? I think so. Brian K. Vaughan, Saga, have to get it. Don't you think that this is sort of, I don't want to say filler, it's just, I think this is going to be better when you see a TPB and this is in between the story arcs. I don't have a lot to say about Saga right now. It's sort of ticking me off, but there's a new one out. We'll see what happens. My brother and I loved Max way back when, and now they're redoing it, same storyline. You know, different color, etc. But I read through that. Now, remember the time that I said I had no idea what East of West was. Excuse me, there's 7 and 8 just came out. And I said, I'm going to have to read all of these all over again because I can't remember it. Well, I sat down and reread all of them, and this is now one of my newest favorites, thus going into the TPB. I'm going to get a TPB of that so I can go back to it. That's Jonathan Hickman that did that whole Infinity stuff. Thumbs up. I really like East of the West. I hope you do too. Moving on to DC. Earth 2, different parallel Earth, different people, things are different happening there. Remember I said like Ultraman was sort of the evil Superman? Well, Earth 2 actually did that. Now you do have an evil Superman with red eyes, okay? Why is he so evil? He was supposed to die. I think he died in the first 3 episodes or something like that. And why are we seeing such an evil Superman? Did you know? That's in here. 23.1. This is Villains Month, the lenticular moving, I don't know if you see that. At the very end of this, did you know it says it's going to continue in Batman Superman / Superman and Earth 2. Did you know that? Because that answers a lot. Little Easter egg there for you. Here's the Batman Superman, has nothing to do with Darkseid, that's Mongol. Right. Going to Justice League. Again, the lenticular villains of the month. It's all about Nightwing on this, right? It's all about Nightwing. The last couple of issues is all about Nightwing, which is Batman's Robin, but now I'm not part of your sidekick thing. I'm going to be my own guy. That's Nightwing. Did you know that's a continuation of 23.4? Secret Society? Justice League lenticular? Did you know? Maybe you did. Send me comments. I want to talk to you about things on the cover. This has Deathstroke, which may be my newest favoriteest villain. This guy is not really even in the comic. Okay? Don't do that. Because, again, the lenticular, 7.1 of Justice League America, this is a great, I think I really do like this guy. If you don't know your villains, look into Deathstroke. He's like the one that you haven't heard of in terms of mainstream. It's fun. Apparently Lobo that you know isn't Lobo that you know. Did you know? Because Lobo's like a intergalactic space assassin. The real one. Sort of nifty. Not like this. If there's backstory on this, fine. It was... Moving on. Here we finally know what in the hell happened when you thought all your favorite guys died. We're talking Wonder Woman, Aquaman. They gave out the lasso of Wonder Woman, you know, the trident of Aquaman. They were dead, okay? They were dead. Oh my God, what have they done? DC, oh my God. Then all of a sudden they were all alive in JLA, Justice League of America, and they were trapped in some prison. It's like, well, that's the soap opera thing, you know, when they come back. But now you know where they are, and now there's some feasibility to it. Nice move. We're down to our last two. Batman is supposed to be 0 year. This is a continuation of a certain villain that does say 0 year. My question to you is, what is 0 year? This is Scott Snyder. What is 0 year? Because if it's supposed to be an origin story, how is this an origin story? Please tell me. Last but not least, why do I like Aquaman? I don't know. Don't answer that. But I like the fact that Paul Pelletier, did I say that right? There's a question. I love his inking and his art and what's happening in Aquaman. But they're really rewriting a new history of Aquaman, right? I mean, we all knew about the half-human and half-Atlantean, and they didn't really accept him as a king. But now there's two family lineages. Please, someone explain that a little bit better. Who was the father that wanted to include everyone? And who was the father that wanted to be strictly, you know, homogeneous, I think is the word. All right, guys, I want to keep it short. I thought I was going to quit this. There are so many other people that are so much better at this than I, but I'm a complete newbie, and that's why I want to keep on doing this. I don't know. Just comment. Otherwise, thank you for even watching issue 3 or 2 or 1. Oh, I wanted to do this.